Hello, good evening, everybody, and welcome to, we call it what, right? A farewell race, if we want. Of course, lack of a better name for it, but that's pretty much what it is. We call it the F1 2019 farewell race. Pretty much the last race of this game, with F1 pretty much out in a few days' time. So I will stick to the farewell race then, pretty much. As you can see, a couple of guys already started going to track. And of course, the guys here is obviously going to go with multiplayer cars for this race. So which also means no teammates. Which is also good. Everybody racing hard, racing for themselves, but of course, race fairly. So just waiting for these guys to get out there. Of course, as you can see, those of you, of course, that know your racing tracks, you will see this is Austria. Basically goes in hand with the return of F1 this coming weekend. Of course, return race is at Austria, so guys all decided then let it be Austria tonight, of course. So giving F1 2019 a proper send-off and doing the same track that we start this weekend with, of course. Right, just share a bit of links here, sorry guys for a bit of breaking me. So a couple of guys just asking for the link. And as always, just want to get us some details here. And we can do that, of course, that full map. Good indication sometimes where a yellow flag is. Not always 100% correct, but sometimes, most of the times actually, we can see where the yellow flag is. Of course, looking there, Jardy 44 car that's pretty much a Merc, especially if you look at the livery Merc decided to go with this coming season. The black rather than the silver, so this almost looks like a Merc. Couple of guys still in the pits and a bit of a mixed strategy already with some of the guys. Some hard tires already. A Mackett already on the ball, a 1:04.5. Kong Hofner 1:05.5 in second place, second off. Of course, for those of you watching, feel free to post some comments there, be part of a chat. Now that the streams are shared, everybody is settled in, we can focus on the thing that everybody's here for, of course, racing. Nice turnout tonight, I must say, 17 cars on the grid. Not the 100% full grid as we hoped for, but still 17. Only 3 spots in the end that remained open, so still good turnout. Makes things extra interesting into corner 1, because everybody wants to be in that corner first. And it also end up giving us some good stuff, some crashes or good overtakes, dive bombing, whatever. But that's always the excitement that comes with the pull away, of course. That first corner, we've seen it so often out there in real life as well. A lot of incidents in that first corner. The guy starting in last place, not necessarily the worst place. I said it before on other streams before. I've seen it before and I mean it. Last place is not necessarily the worst place to be. I've seen races being won from last place, podium finishes. And the guy there currently in 70th place, Vino for real, is one of them. Coming from the last place on the grid, and coincidentally that night it was also 17th if I remember correctly, and he made it all the way to the front. We've got the RZDV here coming into the pits. A 106.1 at the moment puts him in 8th. Of course, this is a short quali, so it's which means only one qualifying session. And the race will be 100% race distance. Then the makeup of us, of course, it's basically guys who race with each other over 4 different leagues. Of course, the channel we're using, Safwan Quinton, Formula One, he's the guy who actually put it together. And the guys, of course, racing together tonight is basically guys that he race with in different leagues that he race in. So just to give you an idea, there's 4 leagues here represented by the various drivers tonight. As I say, that he decided to retire. He's happy with his qualifying. He's not gonna do some more laps, of course, also saving his tires. So he's more focusing on the race. So the 4 leagues represented here tonight is TNB, basically known for 100% racing. Of course, they race on Friday night South African time, 100% race distance, and they do full qualifying with that race distance. So almost the same as happens tonight. Only difference is, of course, the length of the qualifying. Then there's midweek racing, also South African League racing on Tuesday night South African time. They do short qualifying, 50% race distance. Then 2 other leagues I'm not too familiar with, so please bear with me. I don't have a lot of information on them. I haven't had the privilege to see the guys in action. But the other 2 represented here is SFR, of course, full name Speed Force Racing, and TN, full name there Transnation Esports. As I mentioned, that is 4 leagues where Safwan Quinton himself racing. This is obviously the guys he got to know, and initially when he started this, he wanted to get the top 5 out of all 4 leagues. And unfortunately that couldn't happen as a couple of guys had things going on tonight. And some of the guys already got rid of F1 2019 in, of course, basically with 2020 a few days away. Of course, the guys that still had 19, that's the guys who pretty much rocked up, and of course who didn't have anything going for them tonight. Like I said earlier, 17 guys on the grid, which is not too bad. Could have been only 6 drivers or less, so yeah, always good to see with such a good turnout. So far in front, no change. Mack is still in first place, a 104.5. Zara 104.7, in second place. Monster Blue also in the 104s. But as I say, that things change, and Emi Alonso jumps into second with a 104.6. Zadi 104.7 in third place now. Monster Blue in fourth with a 104.8. And then we have a couple of guys in the 105s. Connie Young 105.0. Safwan Quinton 105.3. And we got ILRT Dexter with a 105.3 as well. And Kong Hofner 105.5 and Boinkies 105.7. So guys are very close to each other. Still another 9.5 minutes to go, so good racing, of course. These guys gonna push. So at the end of the day, you want pole position. The best place to be is in front, although I still believe last place is not a bad place. It's those guys in the middle that need to be worried. It's all about spotting those braking points. Of course, cold brakes on the start into that first corner, never easy. So ILRT Dexter in the pit, couple of guys actually in the pits, as you can see, pretty much the top 9, with Monster Blue now on his way out. Already we of course the guy. We got Matty and Papa Whiskey also in the pits, with Irish New Potato out on track. But as I say, that he's also coming in. I think the strategy here is to do a few laps on those hard tyres and then maybe now switch over to the soft tyres to go faster, of course. Okay, I see someone just having a go there at No Name. DNF No Name, we're currently in 5th place. At the moment, he was in 14th when the comment was made. Jacques just giving him a hard time where it says, yeah, 14th place is way too bad and he must step up basically. Of course, still just a little under 8 minutes to go, so there's still time for improvement, and he is on an outlap, as you can see. Matter still in the pits, Vino as well. Those guys were the only two didn't post any lap times as yet. Of course, qualifying, as you can see, it's sunny. Race will also be sunny because the decision was made for the race to take place in clear weather, of course. So just to make the racing also more racy. Of course, if it's wet, guys are a bit cautious. You want them to go all out. One final go at F1 2019 and do it properly. Still no sign. Vino's on his way out, but Matt, no sign of him as yet. Couple of nice liveries, I must say. A Monster Blue goes fastest for now, 104.3. Couple of guys really fast. They're going to give each other a hard time here. Connor Young with his pink livery, currently in 5th place. Zarina also an outlap. Front we got Emil Alonso, looks like a McLaren supporter with his orange and blue. Connor Young moves up into 3rd place, a 104.6. Emil Alonso and Connor Young is 500s only splitting those two. But Connor Young also not far off Mackett. Mackett, of course, doing the 100% race here tonight. He also signed up for TNB for next season. He's going to give 100% racing a go. A couple of these guys actually race in more than one league. As I said earlier, Safwan Quinton, he obviously organised this, got to know the guys. A couple of other guys as well race in more than one league. It happens that there's another South African league. So the guys race on Friday night 100%, then they race 50% on a Monday and 50% on a Tuesday. So some of these guys actually know each other better than what we think they do. So they will know each other's way of racing, where they'll make the mistakes, etc. So I think we're in for interesting time tonight. Clock now just under 5 minutes. Looks like Mackett might be diving into the pits. Yes, he is. So he will obviously put on another set of tyres, although he just did one lap. And surely he will have another go at it. Safwan Quinton in the pits. Out of the top 10, only Connie Young on track, everyone else in the pits. So if they get out in time, pretty much one more lap, maybe two. TNF, no name. Since Sven actually moved up to 7th, I think Isaac will be happy now. From 14th, 15th, all the way up to 7th, so huge improvement there. Not far off, very low 105, so perhaps he might have another go, see if he can get into that 104s. Really close in front. And Mr. RZDV, if I'm not mistaken, that's Safwan Quinton. Yep, there we go, you can have a final go. Livery that reminds me almost of old Jaguars. Of course, Jaguars before they became Red Bull. Not sure how many people remember that the Red Bull team as we know it actually were the old Jaguar team which Red Bull bought over back then. They obviously had the white and the green. I must say some of the guys really put in some effort with their liveries. One nice thing about multiplayer car, you design your own livery. And as I mentioned at the start, no teammates, everybody race for themselves. So it's 17 cars, no teams. Winky's about to start another lap. He can still get in 2 laps, basically he's got enough time. Invalidated lap, so that means he's going to bail out of this one. He just don't want to be too slow getting around, but he will be able to do another lap. Also nice livery with predominantly white. Luckily it's not just plain white, otherwise we could have called it milkman's car. So a livery like that in the previous SA Race of Pace. Papa Whiskey in the pits, you will have to hurry up if you want to get out in time still. LRT Matte is on the outlap. It was like a Renault inspired livery there. Then of course with his Ferrari inspired livery coming around now with final sequence of corners. See what time he post. There he goes, 8th and immediately slows down, so 105.0. I'm not sure if he's actually going to attempt to do another lap. Matty UTM. And he goes 11th. 105.2. Irish Neat Potato with the invalidated lap, unfortunately, but he might just might make it in time. 24 seconds remaining. Whoever crossed the finish line prior to the clock running out will have enough time to post another lap. Mackett retires, so that's it. Mackett will be second. There's someone can push him down. LRT Matt coming around the final corner now. His one and only hard lap, and no, looks like that was an invalidated lap, unfortunately. Not sure, by the sound of it, he might have still actually got time to do one more lap. Saw this before, it looks like the time runs out. The guys in Fury are done, but we now may get one more lap in. Ooh, someone running very wide. Oh, and a very dangerous return, and that would have affected Connie Young. Luckily not very serious contact there. There was a bit of contact, but not much. Papa Whiskey also retiring now. Sorry about that. Yeah, so gorgeous, dangerous return to track. But luckily Connie Young lives to fight another day, although he would have been able to make the race. It wouldn't have taken him out at this stage. So he's also done. So Connie Young looks like going to start in third. He's going to be on pole. Connie Young is on the pits when we have retirements. LRT Dexter is coming in. Yeah, that is pretty much it. Everybody's done. Just waiting for the guys in the pits to retire when this session will be over. So Monster Blue will be on pole with Mackett alongside in second. Connie Young and Emi Alonso will take the second row. Third row will be Newt Potato and Safwan Quinton. Okay, so just waiting for these last couple of guys to retire. RT Dexter. There we go. That's confirming Monster Blue there in first, followed by Connie Young, Emi Alonso, Irish New Potato, Safwan Quinton, Zadi. Okay, we'll just say KRC. They No Name finished in 9th and Vino taking the final place, running over top 10. Rest of the grid will be Matty UTM, Boinkies, LRG Dexter, RJDV, Papa Whiskey, and LRG Matter. Hey, Mr. Kimmy! One of the team boys just popping in there. Mr. Not Kimmy, welcome. Of course, the TNB League will start just the week after next, Friday the 17th, because everybody getting to 2020 next week. For this, so finally we can go racing in F1 2020, and then pretty much a week after the new leagues will pretty much start resuming with a new game. And Not Kimmy, of course, one of the guys who signed up there at TNB for the next season. As you can see, the timer did start running. A couple of guys readied up. Of course, they're ready to go. They're happy with their strategy. A couple of guys still sorting out their race strategies. Once everybody readied up, all that time runs out, we will be going. 10 seconds to go. Oh wow, and there is Mr. Cowboy as well. Mr. Cowboy, what's up? Right, formation lap. Formation lap just to warm up those tires and brakes. Of course, Marky there, Mr. Cowboy, also somebody who raced with some of these guys before. Yeah, Kimmy, what else is new? But I'm sure Uncle Charles came to visit, so you must have a good time with him. Of course, I seriously hope that it's his race engineer for next season as well, Uncle Charles. Best race engineer you could ask for. So Kimmy, speak to Uncle Charles, he must make his appearance next season. Check the guys just wheeling a bit, try to get extra heater in there. LRG Matt in last place, but as I said before, last place is not the worst possible place, and maybe that was part of his strategy to start. Excellent, gimme boot, like that. Always nice to see Uncle Charles make his appearance, because whenever Uncle Charles is around, Not Kimmy tend to be much quicker. With his spoeg and plak strategies, as he call it. For those people who don't understand Afrikaans, it's basically a spit and stick strategy, if you want to call it that. Right, last cars is lined up and we can finally go. Watch for the lights. And we are racing. Monster Blue with a good start there, so did Connie Young and Emil Alonso. Macken with a very slow start. First three got through cleanly. Oh, Macken. Oh, contact at the back. Irish Newt Potato out already. We'll catch up with positions now, but a couple of guys got affected in that. And it's safety car, of course. Safety car is out as a result of that. Vino, 5-second penalty. Of course, that is also a bit of corner cutting and yellow flag. When it's safety car and yellow flag conditions, the penalties are more severe. But a couple of guys, not the best of starts. Mackett went wide. Not sure if when he came back on track, somebody just bumped him. No way to react. We were not. I didn't. Those guys tried to get some information, but we just got the back end. And as you can see, the incident happened in the background. So So first casualty is Irish Newt Potato. Always crappy one. 100% race and you are on the first lap. Not what you want. And Matty with a huge spin as well by the looks of it. All the way down to the back. Mackett with some wing damage, so a couple of guys will come flying into the pits. Here we go, there's Mackett. But in front of me there's already a few other cars in the pits. Got Kong Hofner in there, Papa Whiskey's in the pits. Safwan Quinton in the pits. Monster Blue, one of the better of guys, got pole position and he managed to get a good start. He got his nose in front and avoided all that chaos. Imi Alonso actually managed to leap Connie Young, so he got second place, all the way from 4th into 2nd. Connie Young remaining in 3rd, but all three the front runners got good starts and they avoided all of that. Zardi currently running in 4th. Then we got Mr. No Name, who actually gained a couple of places into 5th with Dexter in 6th. Buenkies into 7th. And there we go, people, the biggest jumper from 17th all the way into 8th place. RT Matter. And also someone who gained a good couple of places, Mr. RJDV 2000. We've seen this before, always that first corner. And there we go, turbos and bullets well, 100%. So yeah, it's like a turbos and bullets thing. You can see Safwan Quinton racing turbos and bullets. But it was actually not his decision. The guys voted and it looks like the majority of the votes were for 100%. Just got the back end of it. Looks like RZDV got some sort of time penalty. Also, like, nicely done livery the blue and white there by Mr. RZDV. Guys really put in effort. But also like that, must say that livery from Matty also looks nice. Ooh, suffer a big moment again, back end. Wanted to step out there, luckily kept it together. There we go, safety car coming in. The Monster will just back up these guys a bit. He will ultimately become the safety car. Not allowed to go racing until they cross that safety car line. Safety car in the pit entrance, and it looks like Monster did put down, and Emi Alonso reacted as well. The two of them more sort of gap to Connie Young. Nicely timed by Monster, and Emi Alonso actually saw that and he followed. Gap between Emi Alonso and Connie Young hovering at the 1 second mark. And Zardi and T Name already fighting here on the restart. Sorry, just taking the inside line, but looks like the NF No Name got a better drive, but just not good enough to make a move, not at this time at least. Matter also started on the hard tyres, so he's actually going to go for a very long stint here. It was not a bad idea to start with hard tyres. With all the chaos around him, he managed to keep it clean and gained a good couple of places. Someone who makes his welcome return to TNB next season. Previous champion, missed a season or two, now he's making an appearance again. Always nice to see some of these guys in action. Doesn't matter which league, of course we got a yellow flag there as you can see, which is KRC. Coming around for final corner now. Looks like no damage, front wing is definitely still intact. Maybe just the back end stepping out. Always possible. And looks like we got a battle. Yeah, we go. Corner Young, Zardi, ILRT, Dexter and TNF No Name. Four-way battle here for third place. Corner Young for now keeping inside line, but Zardi's got a much better drive out in his pass. Corner Young trying to attack. Don't want to from him. Almost like Zardi caught Corner Young napping there. But Dexter and No Name following in close pursuit. Those two having a bit of a battle of their own. A little battle in a battle. Boinky still keeping it in 7th, just ahead of Matter. But he's going to feel the pressure from Matter very soon. Matt is closing. Dexter, No Name for it. Of course DRS is now available as you can see. Corner Young gonna have a look on the inside of Zardi. Can he have a better drive this time? Looks like for now he is back in 3rd place. But the next time round Zardi will be the one with the seeing at the back as well. Safwan Quinton fighting with RGDV. Close pursuit there is Vino and Mac. One stage he was in last place. Gained a couple of places already. Well, our team met to a 3-second time penalty. But we're going to see a few of those tonight. Of his track, guys, just taking a little bit too much of corner. Just a reminder that corner cutting is set on streak, so those penalties and stuff will be more than usual. And Vino and also Makedve fighting with Vino. Actually these were two of them. RDV got away a bit. Sometime back in front we got Dexter now in 4th, he's past Zardi. And he's on the medium tyre, so he can actually push his strategy further than these guys around him. And TNF No Name now also past Zardi. Looks like Zardi might have some sort of a problem. Let's just look at him coming down. Yep, there we go. He's got a missing in. Should not affect the handling too much, but of course the handling will not be that great. Corner Young now almost 7.5 seconds off Emi Alonso. Emi Alonso 2 seconds behind Monster flying. LRT Dexter having a go here at Corner Young. Corner Young kept to the inside though. TNF No Name right with him. It's now a 3-way battle again for 3rd place. And all along Emi Alonso getting further and further away from him. Trying to keep that to Monster at 2 seconds. And Mac, not sure if he lost the place. Yes, he did. Kong Hofner is now ahead of him. Oh, and another 3-second time penalty for LRT Matter. We actually got past Boinkies. He's now trying to get the guys in front. To close down that gap. He's on the harder tyres. So he really can extend his strategy. Because if he keeps his nose clean and those guys start putting, he can actually gain a few more places. Just need to watch those penalties. TNF No Name ahead of Conor Young, but Conor Young had DRS and he went on the outside. Dexter had a quick look but realized it's not going to happen there. TNF No Name just allowing Conor Young not to get away. And yet again still the gap between second and third place are increasing further, approaching the 9.5 second mark. Mackin now with a time penalty there. And these three guys are in close pursuit, and Boinky's actually got past Matter diving into the pits. Not sure if he picked up some damage, because that's a very early stop for the hard tyres. Unless he doesn't feel comfortable on those hard tyres. Yeah, he picked up damage, front wing change there. Wonder if that might have been in the back of Boinky's. All looks good there for Boinky's. TNF No Name having a go at Conor Young. Gap in front between first and second still opening up, but not as rapid as the gap between second and third. But of course, as long as these three guys keep fighting each other, the gap between second and third will keep increasing. Because there's no fight there. Of course, fighting each other actually end up actually causing you a bit of time. Oh, big moment there. KRC coming around the corner at speed, didn't see that slow going car, and actually when he saw him it was too late and he ran full in the back of him, and that brings out VSC. And that slow moving car was Papa Whiskey. Not sure if he had some sort of issue there, but he was going extremely slow out of that corner, and KRC was at speed coming around that corner, took the racing line, didn't expect the car to be on that racing line at slow going speed. Papa Whiskey also serving a penalty there, and it's a change of front wing. Not sure if that might have been the reason for him going so slow in the first place. Some wing damage, car not controllable. But as I said, KRC wouldn't have expected him to be there at speed, running his own race at his own speed and boom, flat on. Yeah. But it's something that happened, it's in the past, and off we go again. KRC did leave a session, so he's no longer in the race. As you can see, his car is ghosting is on, so at least we can spot that. Papa Whiskey now basically last of the running drivers. We will pass that ghost car, of course, of KRC, who is out. So we are down to 15 runners. And yet another time penalty there for Matter. TNF No Name briefly ahead of Conor Young. He's going to have an inside line this time. But Conor Young still fighting. He's going to keep now the inside. And while these two are fighting, they actually managed to bring ILRT Dexter closer to them. So we're back at 3 cars on each other's gearboxes. Approaching that ghost car of KRC. Of course, they won't be too worried because it is a ghost car. They will just be able to drive through it. Ooh, Dexter wanted to go on the outside, ran a bit deep. That actually cost him a bit of time, so he fell off these two. So it's still TNF No Name versus Conor Young. TNF goes on the inside, defend his line. Blue versus pink. Conor Young with the DRS this time. He's going to actually dive. He thought about going on the inside, but not the cleanest of overtakes, I must say. He decided at the last moment to dive to the inside. He went for the outside line. And as we approached the corner, last minute he dived on the inside, and he actually made some contact there with TNF No Name. Luckily not serious for either driver, but that could have easily ended up in tears. Not the first time I see Conor Young doing something like that. It's part of his race style, it works for him, but like I said, can easily end up in tears, and yeah, and that's when you sit with the issue after the race. Some stewards panel inquiries and stuff afterwards. No Name back in front for now. He's got the DRS, but Conor Young staying right on the back of him, and Papa Whiskey also out of the race. We're down to 14 runners. And it's only lap 14, and we got another safety car out as a result of the environment. Biggest losers here will be Monster and Emi Alonso. Gap between them has come down, but the real sad part is that they almost had a 20-second gap between them and the car in third, and that gap is now going to vanish with the safety car coming out. Emi Alonso also taking the opportunity to pit, and so did Monster. Big enough gap for them to do that. TNF No Name and Conor Young, what are they going to do? Looks like TNF is going to come in. Yep, and Conor Young is going to follow him. So Dexter will go ahead of him for now. He is obviously on the medium tyre, so he can afford to stay out a little bit longer. But he's going to be under pressure at the restart, because these cars will be on fresher rubber and most probably soft tyres as well. Monster Blue managed to resume in first place after that stop. LRT for now in second place. Emi Alonso came out in third. But Emi Alonso, of course, and Monster Blue have better tyres, fresher rubber. Monster decided to go soft, and Emi decided to go medium. The moment we got Matthew managed to get into fourth. Oh, and TNF No Name has left the session. Into the pits. Then yeah, front wing damage there, but he left, so I'm not sure if that was like a power failure or rage quit. It shows in the pits, but it means the car is showing on track, and now it's stuck on track. You see the LRT might go past that car sitting there on the track. Where things when AI take control of the car, just standing still there. But luckily ghosting is on, and there we go, disqualified from the session. This confirmation then that No Name is out. We're down to 13 cars, of course. KRC is a ghosting car, so not counting him. 13 runners out of 17 remaining. Looks like No Name saying that he had a problem with his PS4. Was in third place correctly, but looks like his PS lost power on him. Also not a lucky thing to experience, especially if you lead a race or you're in the top 3. But even the guys that are running at the back, nobody want to retire out of a race like that. Because even the slower guys running at the back, they still want to finish the race. Last thing you want is a power failure or your machinery dying on you while you're in a race. Make it all the way up to 5th. A couple of these guys will probably gain from the safety car. Those early pitters who are on recovery drives, of course, especially now with the gap vanished. Tough one, Quinton, we're in 13th place. For some reason there's a bit of a gap between him and RZTV. I think he's just still tracing down the pack, try to catch up with him. Yeah, there we go. Looking at the map, he is behind a bit, just trying to catch up with that safety car pack. You would hope to catch up before the safety car comes in. He's not far off now. Yeah, he actually made up, and as I say, he's gonna come in. Monster yet again gonna back up, just bunch him up again. Here we go, and he's on his way. Dexter following, Emi Alonso following as well. Already a gap open to 1.5 seconds. Emi Alonso right on the tail there of Dexter. Monster using this opportunity for soft tyres, and which is also much fresher tyres. Emi Alonso would not like that. He's got medium tyres but much fresher rubber compared to Dexter. You want to get past Dexter as soon as possible, because the longer you stay behind him, the more time he's going to lose. Monster, of course, on the fresher soft already have a gap of almost 2.5 seconds, getting away from these two. Because while Dexter hold up Emi Alonso, Monster can push. Emi Alonso is going to have a look on the outside, and he managed to get past Dexter. Can these two open up again a gap? We had a gap of around 17-18 seconds when the safety car came out. Can these two get away from the pack again and open up a gap like that again? Make it also in close pursuit there of Dexter, followed by Young. Those two have raced together, both of them there at Midweek Racing. So Mackett and Conor Young will know each other's tactics, if I can. They probably would have studied each other. Monster Blue, of course, fastest lap, 1:07.9. He's got the better tyres, new and soft. Only other guy on newer soft tyres is Conor Young. And then, of course, RZDV at the back. And of course, as mentioned earlier, penalties coming in thick and fast. Kong Hofner in 6th place, still on those hard tyres. Conor Young's going to have a go at Mackett. Taking the inside, oh, contact again. And again, inside pass by Conor Young, and where he makes contact with a car that he's passing. And again, watch, and now he pushes Mackett off track. That is not good racing from Conor Young at all. Conor Young being Conor Young. Sorry to say it, but as I said before, it's not the first time I see him do this. Driving like an imbecile, making contact with other drivers. LRT Dexter 1.5 seconds behind Emi Alonso now, who found himself 4.6 seconds behind the race leader Monster Blue. Yellow flag. Mackett coming out of a pit. Poinkies now closing down on Avino. Couple of guys here, five car battle there. for pretty much 8th place. Actually 7th as well. Even as far as actually this, they all actually battle here for 5th place. A little bit of a distance between Kong Hofner and Matty UTM, but pretty much all of these guys have a shot for 5th place. On RZDV now retires into that final corner. Safety car. Wonder if Mr. RZDV will be able to join us here in the comms box. Just the VSC, luckily not a full safety car. In front, Monster really flying before this VSC gap is over 6.5 seconds. But Emil Alonso, as much as he loses time to Monster Blue, he also manages to open up a gap to Dex Dexter. Interesting battle here midfield. Ooh, and he almost ran into the back of Kong, but now as he avoided that, it's green flag. We're back to racing conditions, and he's actually going to use it to his advantage. Takes the inside line into the first corner, and he manages to get past Kong Hofner. Our Archie Matt is also going to fancy a go there at Kong Hofner. It's going to be a freeway into the corner, and Matty actually sneaks it out on the inside. I'll Archie Matt, but Kong Hofner is not going to just give up there. Matt is through, but Kong and Matty UTM is now going to fight for it. Good racing by these 3 guys. 4 guys actually with all of the batch. So you can see now even more invocation. Boinkies and Safon Quinton will also fancy the chances. Kong Hofner now losing a couple of places in just a couple of corners. More cars to come his way. 12 runners left. Only lap 23 of 71. Still a long way to go. Archie Mattev in 5th place. Just over a little bit of a gap to Matty UTM. But Matty will have his mirrors full of that red car of Vino for real. Here we go, people. Mr. RGTV, he joined us here in the comms box. Welcome, Mr. RGTV.
Thank you.
Do I dare ask what happened?
I ran wide out of the second last corner and I just lost control.
Okay, yeah, I know that. I've seen that before, experienced that before. If you end up going off track there, it's a bit of a tough one trying to get the car back on track with that sequence of corner. Oh well, tough luck. It happens. But I must say, high mortality rate so far in this race. From 17 starters, we're down to 12. And it's, we're not even halfway yet.
No,
We know closing down, but just not close enough to make a move into the first corner. But of course, for as much as Matty's going to fight him off, it's going to result in an LRT Matt getting away from him.
Safon Quinton making a move on Boinkies.
Yeah, here we go, thank you. Yeah, so, and now
and a cutback from
like with a better drive. Boinkies going to fight back. Quinton's got the DRS. It's going to go on the outside. Yeah, and Quinton back in front of Boinkies.
Oh, and Vina made a move.
Finally past Matty or UTM. Real battles here in midfield, I must say. Emil Alonso 7 seconds, 7.5 seconds off Monster. Connor Young 4.5 seconds off Emil Alonso. Dexter still on those medium tyres where he pretty much started almost with that early stop. So 24 laps versus the softer tyres of Conor Young, but those tyres surely will start going off soon. But so would those mediums as well. 24 laps, that's quite a stint. I think that's the longest stint we've seen so far on a set of tyres tonight.
Big battle for 6th place. Oh, and Quinton gets taken out by Zari. A very nice T-bone.
Zari also with a huge fight back. Ran in the first top 3 for earlier. A couple of guys with mixed fortunes in this race so far. I think I know Monster is the biggest winner after that second safety car, because Emi Alonso was a lot closer to him at when that before the safety car came out. But also keep in mind why Emi Alonso is losing the time that he's doing is he is on the slower tyre. Quinton trying to go back at Boykies, just not close enough.
Hoffner.
Ooh, and here we go. Kong Hoffner making a move on Matty UTM.
Nicely done.
Matty obviously want to have a go back at him, but just not close enough. And ODR is. Ooh, and Zardi actually arrives at the rate of knots. Luckily, he managed to get his braking just at the right time. Could have so easily ran into the back of Matty UTM there.
How does he not have damage after colliding with Quinton?
Straight here, because you said they made contact, but I don't see wing damage. But I also don't see any damage on Quinton's car, at least doesn't look like he's affected by it, but he is battling with Boinkies. Ooh, Zardi's hands full, and again hard on the brakes. He almost again ran into the back of Matty UTM. Come very close. Now Boinkies almost returned the favour at him. Boinkies closing down on him and then had to apply brakes very hard.
Ooh, and Zardi again.
Safon Quinton don't have damage. Also front wing still intact. Boinkies just making Zardi know he's there, but not close enough for a move as yet. 5 cars here battling for 7th place. And just in front of him is Vino.
Oh, and Zardi off track, and Zardi takes someone out. Oh, nicely dodged by Boinkies.
We go, and that is Matty UTM of there.
That's all Zardi's fault, going off track to try and overtake.
I will agree with you, Mr. RZDV. Zardi had a couple of shocking laps. As those who are watching, you would have seen him narrowly missing a couple of guys' rear ends, coming close. And then RZDV was actually watching that battle all the way. And Zardi's luck ran out and he made contact. Martin on the pits also now finally getting rid of those tyres. Him and Dexter 27 laps on those mediums.
Yeah. This is
Safon Quinton actually a big winner where he's now ahead of Boinkies. He's into 8th place.
There's something we Afrikaners like to say, lastig hond verbrand sy mond.
True that. It's not all about speed. You need to have a craft as well. You can't outrace somebody just on sheer speed.
Also need to know when to go for the move, not just...
Looks like Dexter is using his opportunity now that he got into 4th place. 28 laps medium, but he's still going strong.
Well, after that there's not much of a battle anymore.
Yeah, unfortunately that incident with Zardi and the boys around him actually robbed us of a battle, because those guys were battling 5 cars for one position, and they were battling wheel to wheel pretty much. Only real battle there we see now is Boinkies and South van Quinton. Gap of 3 tenths, of course. Boinkies now with DRS, just not close enough.
Yeah. Yeah, so I was struggling actually. It's not one of my favorite tracks. I like the track, but I don't.
I would love to see them bringing out classic tracks again, like they did with one F1 a couple of years ago. But if we say classic tracks, I would like to see classic tracks in the sense of having the original Austria and the original Hockenheimring. Those long tracks running through the forest.
Boinkies going on Quinton, getting a much better drive out of turn 1.
Side by side again. But the DRS helping Boinkies there for now.
But Quinton should have DRS on the next after turn 3. Yep, and he has.
DRS opening up, but he's just not close enough. Zardi with a time penalty. We're now into 5th place as a couple of guys also pitted. Our team Mate also with a long stint, 20 laps on those mediums, finding himself into 4th now. I mentioned it, I'm going to mention again, that was the guy who started the race in last place. Currently running in 4th.
Quinton coming back at Boinkies. Oh!
Quinton having to go wide there.
And lost a lot of time.
Luckily, it's nothing major, it could have been a lot more serious. And we're approaching the halfway mark. Gap between 1st and 2nd place now just over 11 seconds, while 2nd to 3rd place has increased also to 5.5.
Gap between Quinton and Boinkies will back below a 2nd again.
Yeah, DRS range again of course for Quinton.
Not using DRS surprisingly.
If Matty catch up with Zardi, would be interesting to see that battle. Because I think Matty will be fuming.
Can it be interesting to see some of the comments on the group afterwards?
True that. I think a couple of guys will have a few words for each other. Because this is not a league race, not a league event. Just a couple of league guys coming together for one social race, if you can call it that. But some of the guys also take their racing very serious, wearing their heart on their sleeve, so they will speak their minds out.
Quinton backwards in half a second.
Yeah, Boinkies not getting away from Quinton. Quinton actually gaining. Now Quinton will have DRS, and they coming around the final sequence of corners.
Also
where you of course lost it.
I've man at all the tyres than Boinkies and Quinton.
But Quinton just not close enough to Boinkies when it comes to the DRS zone. Kinda letting Boinkies off the hook there.
Cars in front. Car in front.
They're getting closer to Kovna and pulling Quinton with him. Looking on the outside, getting that ghost car of KCR. for the KRC. Boinkies now have to settle for second
coming
between
back.
these two.
He doesn't
Just too
take
far
the
down.
chance.
Would have been a ballsy move.
Yeah.
Gap
One
in
move
front.
I like.
The gap in front not opening up as rapidly as it did early on. That's also because Monster's tyres are now 19 laps old, soft tyres, so they would have started falling off a bit. So Emi Alonso, obviously with medium tyres, can now maybe just get some of that gap coming back towards his way. Connie Young almost 7 seconds behind Emi Alonso, and then Matter, who's just under 6 seconds behind him. Still only battle out there is Boinkies and Koen. Looks like Dexter is catching Mackett, but he's on the newer soft tyres.
And Mackett catching the two drivers in front.
Which of course is Boinkies and Quentin battling each other. With them battling, it actually costing them time, hence he gaining. Kong Hofner 8 seconds behind Vino. Boinkies actually now in their ace range. Well, not now, still. Quentin just under 1.5. Well, now 1.5 behind Kong Hofner.
And Mackett 1.2 seconds behind Boinkies.
Mackett can get to speed and keep it. He will put Boinkies under pressure in not the too distant future.
And next lap. Gap is very close to a second.
Keep coming down. And of course, as you would have noticed, the lap count, we're pretty much now past halfway.
And Quentin going into the pits.
He's already 18 seconds behind Dexter. Matty
Mackett is
slowly
on
but surely
Boinkies.
gaining.
So Mackett should get it done into turn 3. 4.
Mackett right on that.
Oh,
Boinkies runs wide. Surely that will
This is
allow
straight
Mackett.
away.
Mackett's got the better drive and he's got the race, and yes, straightforward move there by Mackett.
Dexter only 1.6 seconds behind Boinkies now.
Boinkies to Mackett, so far so good. Ooh,
Second
and we're
to
gonna have a
three,
yellow
yellow
flag
flag.
there in that final corner sequence. Looks like it's no, it's
Connor.
Connie Young. Connie Young ran wide and then he cut over the grass to run into the pits. And for good 5 second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Stopping there, and right at his garage is Matty's spare front wing there, as you can see.
Quentin going to be ahead of Connor. Just too far ahead.
Connie Young just manages to get out ahead of Safwan Quinton. Because one thing with multiplayer cars, yeah, you don't know which is actually your garage, and if I'm not mistaken, even if you stop a second or third time, it doesn't mean that you can actually stop in the same garage as before. And Conor Young being
Quentin
really
dropped
naughty,
cars.
leaving while on track. One of the rules there by TNB, if you basically are done with a race, you want to retire, make your way to the pit and then retire. The whole idea is to avoid AI taking control of a car.
Mackett on.
Saw so many races
Mackett goes
being
for
a
a move on Hoffner. Sorry,
we saw it before affected by AI. So as you can see, there's now 2 ghost cars, KRC and Conor Young. Conor Young has left the session. I wondered, actually, to be honest, I had a suspicion that was coming.
No, that's already done.
Some of these guys, they used to be in front, and when things don't go their way on a night, they tend to rage quit.
I believe the reason he rage quit is they didn't change his wing.
Possible because that car still had front wing damage. But I believe, well, yeah, Matty UT.
What happened to Vino? He's done into 8.
I think he might have been involved in that same Conor Young incident. They went to that corner where for a brief moment it looked like Vino might have been the car and then it was Conor. I'm not sure if there was some sort of contact there.
Nice move from
But
Dexter.
Matty UTM is definitely ghosting as well, as you can see from that pictures. Him, KRC, as you can see, that's ghosting. Of course, Conor Young as well. So all 3 of the last cars, Matty UTM, Conor Young and KRC, are all ghosting cars. So we're down to 10 drivers.
He's ghosting due to the lap cars though. Or the cars lapping him.
Now Matt ghosting for the last lap or so, definitely. Conor Young left the session and KRC has left the session early.
No, I think QTM is still in the race because every now and again if the driver in front gets too far away, his car goes back to normal.
There we go. That shows what you're saying, yeah. True that, but the car in front is Zardi. Zardi is not lapping him.
No,
It's
but
only
he
3.5
he
seconds.
has a lap car in front of him. Or he has the leader in front of him. Monster Blue.
Of course, yeah. Well spotted. I actually thought that was Zardi looking at those liveries. But yeah, you're right, Monster Blue. So Matty is actually still in the race. He's only ghosting the lead car. So sorry about that, Matty. Matty is definitely still with us. So we actually got 11 drivers still left. Monster with a 15-second gap on Emi Alonso, who's got an almost 15-second gap. Matt actually closing that gap a bit. Macken
And all
into
the
fourth.
gaps are over a second.
Yeah, no close battles at the moment. Lowest is 1.5, 1.4 there for Vino and Boinkies.
That's coming down to almost below a second. And it's below. DRS on the second straight after turn 1. Oh really? Yeah.
Mr. Not Fernando. I see there Mr. Not Kimi saying 100% a bit of a too much. Funny enough, you would say that, Mr. Not Kimi. You yourself are so used to 100% race distance, you don't even feel like it's too much. And yes, you're right, you did see a Conor Young rage quit.
Nothing new. Monster Blue into the pits.
Couple of guys, as I said before, very quick. But also keep in mind, some of these guys sit and do time trials for how many hours a day practicing. Not putting AI in there, not practicing with maybe a fellow driver. So when they do get on track and there's now other drivers and it's wheel to wheel, some of the guys just can't drive.
Going for the movement in turn 1.
And through that goes in car of Conor Young, and Vino is actually going to pull it off. Vino back into 6th place. Look, I don't like doing, I don't like to trash people, but I'm going to say it, I want to say it, I feel I'm going to do it, but as that guy would say, you will know what I'm referring to when I say a purse. So yeah, Conor Young being a purse tonight.
Being a cat.
Because Mackett and him also contact early on. It's like he drove Mackett off track. And then things didn't work out his way, he decided to leave. Not good sportsmanship actually. But yeah, after that the whole Zardi incident as well, it's like we got robbed of a few battles. Monster has stopped.
Hofner is 3 tenths behind Zardi.
So Monster's second, but he's very close to Emi Alonso. So Monster now needs medium, so Emi Alonso will have to start thinking of stopping. So then pretty much Monster will be back in first if they don't make a move prior to that. Kong Hofner should dive on the inside there. Kong Hofner, but Zardi's going to come back at him.
And that's over. And the gap at the front is under a second.
Yeah, no, Monster Blue is absolutely flying. Had a flawless race from start. It's still now place because of a pit stop. Alonso will still need to make his next pit stop. But both of them are done with the relevant tyre compounds.
As fresh tyres are working, are doing a good job.
Macker 10 seconds behind ILRT Matter. Dexter actually within 1.5 from Mackett. So a bit of a closer gap here, but still the biggest battle at the moment is Zardi and Kong Hofner.
First and second going to battle into turn 3.
Of course now that is now the closest battle, and here we go. Emi Alonso fending off on the inside. But this is only going to be a matter of time, because Monster's got the better tyres with we know with another penalty for speeding in the pit lane, and as Emi Alonso lock up a bit there. Just riding on board here with Monster Blue. We will have DRS now coming down the home straight. Or can he get close enough to make it stick? Of course, you will have DRS as well in this next section. Getting closer and closer. DRS wide open. What can he do coming into the second corner? Getting closer and closer. Gonna have a look on the outside.
Ooh!
Was thinking of undercut, but he had to get onto the brakes, otherwise he would have run into the back of Emi Alonso.
Vino half a second behind Zardi.
Yeah, actually on my way there. Purple last sector there for Vino and the Fraser soft. Zari is going to feel the pressure because he's got mediums, which is also a good couple of laps older. Here we go, Vino's going to have a look on the inside. Runs a little bit deep, but just brings it back just in time. But Zardi is actually going to obviously want to try to get back at him, but not at that stage because Vino actually did pull out a huge. Once Vino got out of that corner, the gap went over a second.
Going for a move into turn 3.
Zardi obviously had to make a bit of a mistake there. Monster Blue.
Well defended from Alonso.
Monster Blue and Emi Alonso still fighting. Ooh, and Mackett now left the session. So we are now down to 10 cars. Almost like Dexter's car was inspired by the new Williams livery. Just need a bit more blue.
Ooh, Monster going for a move into turn 1. Will he get it?
Yeah, he's through.
Yes, he does.
Pressure tires helping him there.
Back. Trying to go around the outside, but it didn't work. Knock it back.
Matter just not able to catch up with him, but already 38 laps on this set of mediums. Vino for real with those fresh soft tires setting fastest lap for now. Quinton and Boinky's back at battling each other.
Alonso into the pits.
Looks like he's going on to softs.
Should go to the end. 21 laps.
Kong off now 1.8 behind Vino. One Quinton running in 5th, but 12 seconds behind Dexter.
Pinky's into the pits. Vino catching him.
Couple of 3-second gaps there in the middle. Matter running in second, still on those mediums, 40 laps old now. Really pushing those tyres. Emil Alonso back in as Matter finally dived into the pits. And 20 laps to go after this one. Monster Blue with a very comfortable gap in front.
Dexter and Hoffner having a battle.
Almost looks like Mac's car's not ghosting it.
Yeah, he got back into the lobby and Dexter goes down the inside.
So his was just a pure old-fashioned disconnect.
Yeah.
Dexter having a go yet, Kong Hoffner finally.
Brinky's 1.2 seconds behind ETM.
LRT Matter battling, looks like with Safon Quinton. Drives into the pits. Vino's surely will fancy a chance. He want to have a go here at LRT Matter.
Brinky's on ETM.
Boinky's through. Zardi down as Zardi dives into the pits. Boinky's on your still there. Fury is wide open. And Boinky's goes through on the inside.
Not really that smart defending the inside line because you make the corner so much tighter for you, for yourself.
Kong Hoffner there with India race of Dexter.
No, Barrow's on track yet again.
Couple of 107s or 108s. Matthew team and Matter.
It looks like Brinky's is... I was gonna say catching Quinton slowly, but just as I was about to say that the gap increased.
All gaps are now moving a second again. Timmy Alonso with a 3-second.
Quentin catching Mackett slowly.
Of course, as you mentioned, Mackett did reclaim that vehicle, so it's no longer a ghosting car.
And Twinkie somehow lost 2 seconds.
Archie Matter now more than 20 seconds behind Timmy Alonso, who's just over 18 seconds behind Monster Blue.
And Zari's catching Matty.
Macker just running through the coaching car of Connie Young.
Vino almost under a second behind Matter.
Still no real battles on track. 15 laps to go after this one. Closest battle is that Vino Matter one. Just so you can see how close it is. Matty into the pits. Couple of gaps here at the back, touching 6 seconds. Gap between Matt and Vino 1.9. Vino 1.2 between Mackett and Kong Hofnar.
And Vino losing time on Matter.
Gap opened to 2 seconds.
Catching Mackett as quickly as he did. Gap stabilizing at 6 seconds.
LRT Matter with another 3-second down penalty. Of course, RG now ghosting there with Monster Blue just ahead of him.
Oh, suddenly Stefan Quinton got a second out of Mackett.
Mackett's going slow a bit, but also 27 laps already on the house mediums again. Guys on the soft has done far less than that. Some of these guys are really pushing the tyres today. 11 laps to go after this one.
Mackett is closing on Hofner.
Still just 5 to go, so Mackett's still gonna have to push. You want to gain on Kong, but with Quinton chasing him down, he's gonna have to watch both ways. It's already 3 seconds behind Boinkies. Matty is now well and truly ghosting. 25 seconds off. And looking at car, there's no car in his immediate vicinity, no car in front, no car in back, and that car, as you can see, is definitely ghosting.
Yeah.
So it's safe to say we're down to 10 drivers.
Unless he went to take a break. Using the loo.
Zarety trying to hold on to the race leader. Can hopefully pull him through.
Ooh. And Quinton lost in second over Mackett again. Gap was back up to 5 seconds. As
Mackett
Mackett
now
is
within
within a
DRS
second
from
of
Kong.
Hofner.
Mackett getting ever so close there to Kong. I see a lot of rain is actually predicted for this weekend.
Yeah.
Of course, this weekend, as I said at the start of the stream, Austria, welcome return to F1. Weird to say start of the season and we're already in July. Normally your season starts in March. So 4 months later we finally got a race going and so far so good. It's already finally through. Boinkies down to 10th.
Mackett within 8/10 of...
Yeah, Mackett getting closer and closer to Kong. Kong falling off to Dexter.
I think it's safe to say the only position that can still change in the top 7 is this one. Surely no position changes will happen in the top 5 unless there's something happening. And Boinkies and Zardy is off track. Two tenths and that's Mackett passed. And he runs too deep. And loses the position.
Yep. But back on it almost immediately. Seven laps to go. I think it's safe
And
Safe
Zardi
to say the top
decides
3 will remain as is if you look at the gaps. And Zardi, as you say, is gone.
he decides enough is enough.
So 9 position, well, yeah, 9 riders left.
Will Mackett be able to oh, and he gets too far back this time for Mackett, but surely into turn 4 he will get something.
6 laps to go. Something I like to do, and something that we're actually introducing to TNB next season. A driver of the day, as adjudicated by the commentators. So
Matter.
you knew that the question was coming your way. Actually, you have 2 drivers here in mind because I'm actually split between 2 of them. Yes, one of them is Matta. Yes, Matta started in 17th, very last place of the grid, 17th, and he's running in first place at the moment. 14 places that he made up. Then, of course, I must say he is the race leader. Got away cleanly at the start, got away fast, got his nose in front, and he kept it there pretty much. Chaos right behind him in turn 1. He avoided all of that. Just briefly in second place now. After he came out of the pit stops earlier. In control, and he kept on controlling this race virtually every step of the way.
Ooh, so Mackett gets pushed wide.
Oh, definitely driver 1 and 3. And of course a couple of lunatics, if I can call it that. Some weird, funny incidents. But then again, see that, you can't rule that out. Especially when it's a full grid. A couple of guys also need to also work on their racecraft, especially when it comes to wheel to wheel. There's no point in being fast and yet you can't race wheel to wheel. Speed alone though is not gonna help you win a race.
Especially in a 100% race.
Correct.
Mackett only has five more laps to make something happen, yeah?
Mackett again.
It is also only
Mackett again
track.
Doing what he did earlier.
Down the inside.
Hard work, and he's gonna dive here inside.
This time he's
Can he pull it off this time?
Perfectly.
And coming so close, he almost damaged his front wing, almost pushed his front wing on that rear wheel. Mackett fighting over inside line.
Well,
and Monster Blue has stopped. 4 seconds the gap between him and Imi Alonso. Imi, I think, is going to push these tires right to the end.
He's going to go for fastest lap.
Kong not letting away. Pushing Mackett there.
He's too far back. Unless he pulls off a monster dive bomb.
And there's of course he's the closest.
Like Daniel Ricciardo.
But he's the closest battle as well.
The only battle. Switch back doesn't.
Kong all over the back of that car of Mackett.
He does have 10 laps fresher tyres in Mackett.
Just as you think Emil Alonso can have a gap and he can bring it down, the gap opens up even further. Monster just controlled the pace brilliantly tonight.
Yeah.
But Kong is not gonna let Mack get off the hook. Still fighting Mack all the way.
Oh.
Going to the outside. But no, can't make it stick. Matter with another time penalty.
He might actually lose out to Vino on penalties. And maybe even to the LRT Dexter as well. He's closing. Got back, good work.
Matter threw me inside. Again, Kong on him. DRS wide open. Mackett fighting me inside for now.
Just not enough grip.
Going to some distance off Safon Quinton, so safe to say Safon Quinton in 8th.
This is now the final lap. Can Kong make something happen on the final lap?
Yeah, Monster now in the final sector, and he will start his final lap.
No, second last lap, sorry. Penultimate lap for these two.
There we go, final lap has started.
Oh, here he comes. Oh, almost into the back of Mankit.
But Kong is holding on to him. Because they're only going to start the fastest lap, the last lap sorry now. One more time to go around for them. Monster Blue now getting into a final sector.
So, will he get him
Two more corners to go.
He's too far back.
Here we go, Monster coming around. Approaching start finish line now.
Oh, he can make the cutback work.
Well, Monster Blue, 909.
To the grass.
Kong still having a go here. Emil Alonso comes around and he brings the car back in second place. LRT Matt is next. A couple of penalties also.
Oh, there was contact.
But Vino also had some penalties. Let's see what happens once Vino comes around out of a final corner. And as I say, that Vino's got another penalty.
And surprisingly, doesn't go out to first. But Dexter jumps off.
Dexter scores. He's the biggest scorer there because of the penalties.
And Matta loses out by 1 second.
Matta drops to 4th and Vino now drops to 6th as well with Matta crossing.
Matta jumps to 5th.
The penalties coming into play. Of course, the podium celebrations. Right, then it's just to get to the last bit there. Just confirmation, Monster Blue winning it here, because he also had pole position. Email on just where he stays. As he is the